It's a awesome collection, and it was a book I've been waiting for ever since I heard that you announced it at AWP last year. And I know all of my friends love it, and we all felt seen and validated as trans and queer people. And one poem in particular I really loved was "Waiting on You to Die So I Can Be Myself." And I had read, I think, on them.com when you did an interview with that publication, you mentioned that you were working on that poem for a while.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, or like working on it before you even knew Homie was like a collection. And I was wondering what it was about this writing on this project that allowed the poem to emerge as we have it now.
Um, I don't know if homie necessarily helped it. Maybe I think that happens with poems is that as you're sort of writing new poems, like that sort of informs the way you would edit older work, right? So I think you're right. I think you're onto something that it's quite possible that like writing the rest of Homie might have given me sort of the tools to go back and finally click that piece into place somehow. But for me, it was always just about, I knew it was going to be in the book. I knew I did not want to have the book without it, but it just didn't work. I went through probably like 8 very distinct drafts where the only thing that was consistent was the title. And they looked very, I knew because the title is just the idea. And that title was born out of a conversation with another queer friend just about like, who would we be if we had not curtailed our identities to like be safe in our families, and like it's just like, yeah, who would I be if I had like hadn't been interrupted, and who would I be if the most like sort of critical or like shame, I don't know, if like certain eyes weren't on me, right? Like maybe I'd be the braver me, quicker, so yeah, so that poem, yeah, so just really it couldn't come together, and then I don't know what it was. Just one day it just seemed to like fall and stick. I think because maybe just having to go through it so long. I think that's just how poems work. Some come together. One of like my like quote unquote like biggest poems is like Dinosaurs in the Hood. And I wrote that joint in like 20 minutes in an airport one day. And like it's kind of close to like the first draft. And like this other joint like took me like 8 drafts over what was probably 4 or 5 years. And so I think that's just like how poems work, right? Like, sometimes they just show up and sometimes you really got to dig. And it's why I find it really hard to sometimes answer questions about process for that way. Cause it's just like, I don't know. Cause every poem sort of arrives differently. It's like children, like almost with parents, like there's like certain things that you can do for every child, but at a certain point, every one of your kids needs a specific type of parenting, right? And it's the same way with poems. Every one of your poems needs a different kind of attention. So and that poem, Waiting for You to Die, needed a fuck ton of attention. Oh my God. And I was so happy finally settled.
Yeah. Well, I'm grateful it showed up because my friend, when she got her book before I did, and she sent me a picture of it, and we were just like, oh my God, Danez said the thing that we've been feeling and thinking for so long.